Hi guys, welcome back to another Deep Shot video. My voice is, I'm a bit sore today. I have a sore throat, so I have a cough. Now you know why. Fantasy rankings for week 8. You know, let's go. Let's go over. So I'm thinking for our top 20. I have the top 10 written down. I'm gonna go over some honorable mentions of people who, if you have, I think you should definitely start them for this week. Obviously, they're going to be starts. Let's get right into it. So, Chuba Hubbard, David Montgomery, Brian Robinson Jr., James Conner, James Cook, Javonte Williams, J.K. Dobbins, Josh Jacobs, Kareem Hunt, Aaron Jones, and Devon Achane. If you have any of these players could have been in, some of them could have been in the top 10. Probably not, but, you know, there's definitely a case for it, I guess you could say. And, yeah. Let's get right into it, shall we? So, my top 10, my 10th pick is going to be Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason has been coming off 3 weeks where he scored under 10 points. And I think people are kind of forgetting how good Jordan Mason was coming in. Mason was, I think, the third best running back in the league, and they're playing the Ravens, who gave up a ton. They're playing the Cowboys, who gave up a ton of points to opposing run defenses. I think Jordan Mason's going to have a nice game this week. Even with CMC coming back, his usage isn't going to be diminished completely, as CMC will come back maybe around week 11, week 12. So, managers of Jordan Mason, you probably want to try to trade him for now, but Jordan Mason is still going to be a very good candidate. At 9, I have DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift is coming off a bye this week, and Swift, after having one of those starts where we all thought he was like a bust, has turned it into a top 10 running back season, and props to you, DeAndre Swift. He's been playing really good football. The Bears in a whole have been playing really good. That's why I got the Bears that's why I got DeAndre Swift and the Bears this high this week. At number 8, I have Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs is coming off a 32-point performance against the Minnesota Vikings. Jahmyr Gibbs, you know, he's getting he's getting some more red zone usage as opposed to David Montgomery, who I mentioned previously. He's getting a bit more red zone usage as well as getting usage in the passing attack, which is always going to be good for a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is slowly moving up the rankings, so I got him here. At number 7, I got Alvin Kamara. Kamara, you know, is coming off his worst week of the season, but he's still gonna be number 1 usage back. Chris Olave has a chance of coming back this week. He might, and Kamara is likely that Spencer Rattler will also play. Kamara is still a very good PPR back. He gets insane amounts of receptions. Although Kamara has been slightly banged up, I think Kamara's, you can pretty confidently say, he's always going to be a top 10 start in fantasy. At number 6, I have Breece Hall. Breece Hall is coming off 2 good performances, especially this last one where he went for 26.1 points. Breece Hall is getting a ton of use, especially in the passing game. He's such a versatile player in that aspect of the game. I think for future reference, Breece Hall should be a candidate that you should probably, I guess, think about picking up. Breece Hall at 6. At 5, I have Kenneth Walker. I think Kenneth Walker is going to be a top 5, maybe top 10 running back the rest of the season. Kenneth Walker has been so good, especially with his upside of getting multiple touchdowns per game. Kenneth Walker has been he's been so good on the passing. He really does everything for that Seahawks offense, and it's hard to say. It's like seriously hard to say how much he does, because he does so much for the offense. Kenneth Walker is always going to be a good start. Anyone who has him, it's a really good pickup. He's always going to be so good. I got Kenneth Walker at 5. At 4, I have Bijan Robinson. Bijan is, I think their offense has finally figured out how to use Bijan Robinson to his like fullest capability. He's such a versatile player that, you know, you have to use him because he's so good in aspects. But, you know, I think the Falcons have finally started to figure out how to really utilize Bijan to his full extent, and that's really going to help him out a ton. I think Bijan's finally living up to the potential of being a top 5 fantasy receiver. So, a top 5 running back for fantasy football. I think a lot of managers will be happy with that. So, that's why I got Bijan at 4. At 3, I got Kyron Williams. I think the top 3 you guys should know by now. It's gonna be the same, 50%, like almost 80% of the time. Kyron Williams at 3. Kyron Williams has probably the most stable workload in the game. He's always gonna get 20 targets. Cooper Kupp coming back might even help Williams. He's less of the box is gonna be covered up, so you can get more explosive runs, which he hasn't really done much of as of the injuries. So Kyron Williams is gonna be one of the safest options for Week 8. Derrick Henry's your 2. Again, all pretty expected stuff. Derrick Henry he's Derrick Henry, right? No one's ever gonna question it. He's always gonna be an amazing player. He's a beast. The Ravens' running attack is absolutely insane. It's Derrick Henry. What'd you expect? Finally, you already know it. You haven't heard his name yet. Saquon Barkley. Saquon has been so good this season. He's been used by the Eagles in every frame. The Eagles definitely love him. He's been used so much. He's just such a good player. Saquon. He had a really nice revenge game against the Giants. That really helped him out, I think, because the Giants, as he said, they were treating him poorly, and I think he got a good revenge game. That's fair enough. Yeah, that's Week 8. Nothing too out of the ordinary, I think, for this day. The only one I didn't expect to even go on my list was going to be DeAndre Swift. I didn't expect myself to put him this high, but I realized that, damn, maybe he belongs to be here. Yep. Wide receivers now. So receivers, honorable mentions for the receivers. I'm gonna go with Devontae Adams. I know he didn't have the greatest week last week. Maybe that was you can't always be great on the first day. Another thing is another guy I wanted to talk about here was Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I have Tyreek in my top 10. It's Tua's playing against this Cardinals defense who's given up an absurd amount of points to receivers. I think Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill are going to be must-starts if Tua's playing. But Tua is scheduled to play. I have Tyreek in my top 10. So, that's it. If you guys are wondering the reason why Tyreek is high, it's because I'm going off the fact that Tua is. I think Tyreek is the best receiver in the game when Tua's playing. Only CeeDee Lamb is the only guy that kind of can match that, in my opinion. So, yeah. For honorable mentions this week, I just said Jalen Waddle. Jaden Reed is an honorable mention. DJ Moore, he was right outside my top 10, actually at my 11. Terry McLaurin and T. Higgins. That Bengals-Eagles game is really going to be a shootout, I think. The Bengals have shown they're not afraid to let a game go to a shootout, and I think that's what's going to happen this game. I think it's going to be an insane game, if you ask me. So, yeah. T. Higgins, Zay Flowers, he's coming off an ankle injury in week 7. We don't know how much it's going to affect him, as after his injury, I don't think he barely even played. So let's get right into our top 10. Top 10, I have Malik Nabers. Malik Nabers was this crazy top 1 receiver, and then he got a concussion. And now we're starting to realize the downside of Malik Nabers. He's still a top 10 receiver, no doubt about that. He's just not top 1 receiver, what we all thought that he could be. And I think that's just really just the cap of having Daniel Jones and the Giants offense. The Giants are horrible. I don't think you can save the Giants at this point. They're unsavable. The Giants are just not the team you want to play with, you want to be on, and that's not even Malik's fault. He's a crazy talent. It's just he's stuck with a horrible team, and he can't do anything about that. That's why I think Malik Nabers has his ceiling is capped by Daniel Jones. In the beginning of the season, when he did really good, he had 2 very favorable matchups against both the Commanders and the Cowboys, who all don't have good defenses. I think Nabers is not that number 1 receiver, like the top 1 receiver that we thought in the season that he could be. And 9 of Cooper Kupp, another a guy who's coming up, who's just entering the top 10 again. Kupp is coming off injury. There are rumors of him getting traded. Obviously, we'll see what that leads to. But for now, Cooper Kupp is going to be in my top 10. He's always going to be so good. It's so hard to discount him. He's such a good player whenever he's playing, and Like he's unbelievable whenever he plays football, and so I just like we have to put Cooper Kupp in the top 10 just for the reason of having Cooper Kupp. At 9, at 8 I have Stephon Diggs. Diggs is they have no other receiver one. Tank Dell has not been playing amazing. No disrespect to Tank Dell. He's amazing, but like still. At number 7, I have Drake London. Drake London is, I think he's broken out as the definite number 1 receiver for Kirk Cousins. Kyle Pitts, I think, has also been pretty good. More on him later. Drake London, I think, is now just that wide receiver 1 candidate that we hope he would be, and I think he's become that. I got Drake London at 7. At 6, I have CeeDee Lamb. I think CeeDee Lamb is right now just capped at Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott as we know, has not been great, but this was the same thing as last year where CeeDee was not doing good, and then CeeDee went crazy once, and then CeeDee went off. So, stuff can always happen. And number 5, I have AJ Brown. AJ Brown is, again, I think this Eagles game is going to be, the Bengals have shown they're not afraid to do it. They're not afraid to go for a shutout. I think that's what this game is going to be. It's going to be a shutout. And I think AJ Brown's going to majorly benefit off that. So is Jalen Hurts. More on him later as well. Number 5, Tyreek. Welcome back to the top 4. Tyreek Hill. Tua's playing. I think if Tua's playing, Tyreek Hill is the best receiver in the league. Only CeeDee Lamb is like the only person I think can compete with Tyreek Hill for being a top 1 receiver. So at number 3, I have Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra is coming off, I think, a wide receiver 2 week, I believe. Amon-Ra has, with J-Mo being injured, this is going to be another extra little targets for Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra's playing the Titans, who just don't have a good defense at all. So, Titans do have a pretty good passing defense, although they just gave up a good amount of points to, damn, who did the Titans play? I'm sorry. That's my bad. Titans. Give me a sec. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. The Bills. They gave up a good amount of points. 34 points to the Bills with Amari Cooper having 16, Keon Coleman having 112 receiving yards, and Khalil Shakir having 13 points. Yeah. Although Titans defense are supposed to have a good pass defense, I think Amon-Ra is always going to do good. I think Amon-Ra is probably the safest wide receiver 1, and I think it's going to stay that way. At number 2, I have Jamar Chase. No questions. Again, shootout. It's the same logic I used with AJ Brown. This game is going to be such a good game, actually. It's going to be amazing. Same logic here, and then number 1 is going to be Justin Jefferson. The Rams don't have a great pass defense at all. I think Jefferson's going to heavily capitalize on this, and it's going to be a great week for Justin Jefferson. On to quarterbacks now, because quarterbacks are the most fun position. Quarterback top 10. So my honorable mentions for this week is going to be Tua, Prescott, Kirk Cousins, Brock Purdy. Purdy has no one to throw to, I don't think. And that's actually all my. If you should probably have a quarterback by then. So those are gonna be my honorable mentions for this week. Nothing like insanely spectacular. Patrick Mahomes. He did get DeAndre Hopkins. We don't know how good Hopkins is gonna be, but if we're gonna look at it just from a statistical standpoint, it's gonna be amazing for the Chiefs to get their, I guess, Rashee Rice replacement in a sense, where Hopkins just run the same routes Rashee Rice does, and that is going to be huge for them. So let's see how Mahomes turns out with the addition of Hopkins, which, by the way, was an amazing trade. Hopkins, I think, if you guys are looking into wide receivers to pick up, if for some reason no one's picked them up yet, pick up Hopkins. Okay, let's go with the QBs. Top 10, I'm Jared Goff. Again, Jared Goff, he has Amon-Ra, Laporta. I think Laporta is going to do a lot better this week. I'll talk about it later, but Laporta, I think he's going to majorly benefit off J-Mo's absence. So, CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud, I think CJ Stroud has been borderline unplayable without Nico Collins, but this week he has a favorable matchup against Indiana. Another reason why Stephon Diggs was in my top 10 for receivers. So, favorable matchup, therefore. At number 8, I have Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is playing the Rams. Again, as I said, the Rams don't have a good pass defense. They don't have a good defense in general. It's not what they used to be at all. The Rams have fallen off, and I think in every imaginable way, the Rams have fallen off. That's why I got the Rams pretty low, I feel like, on a list. At number 7, 6, and 5, Caleb Williams. Welcome to the list. I did not expect Caleb Williams to be on this list. I'm going to be honest with you guys. But I found myself thinking that Caleb Williams actually deserves to be on this list. Williams, I have 6. Kyler Murray, he always has rushing upside. 5. Jordan Love, 4. Joe Burrow, 3. Josh Allen, 3. Lamar Jackson, 2. And Jalen Hurts, again, shootout game 1. I'm sure you guys understand that now. Hopefully you guys understand that by now. Let's go right to tight ends. Tight ends is another one of those positions where I'm just going to speedrun it. We got Sam Laporta, Cade Otton, Jake Ferguson, Tucker Kraft, Kyle Pitts, Evan Ingram, David Njoku, Trey McBride, Travis Kelce. I think Kelce should be lower, but again, it's Travis Kelce. You can never really discount him. So Kelce, I have to say it. Welcome back. George Kittle, I think, is going to be my number 1, and then accompanied by Brock Bowers. That is tight end. Defense is now. Defense is just going to be Bills, Vikings, Packers, Lions, Jets, Chargers, Ravens, Chiefs, Broncos, Steelers. Kickers are going to be Brandon McManus, Evan McPherson, Cameron Dicker, Will Lutz, Harrison Butker, Younghoe Koo, Brandon Aubrey, Will Reacher, Kylie Fairbairn, and Justin Tucker at 1. Those are going to be our Week 8 fantasy rankings. If you guys enjoyed, I know you guys enjoyed, please subscribe. Do all the stuff, the like, subscribe, all that stuff. Thanks for watching. I will be posting, I think, 3 videos this week. I'll make an NBA recap. As the name is Deep Shot. I think I need to do an NBA video. So NBA season has started. That is very exciting news. I'll make an NBA video, probably like a weekly recap. Probably around Sunday, I think I'll make it, and it'll come out by Monday, definitely. And then this video is before Wednesday. It might come out after Thursday Night Football, after this Rams game, so we'll see. But that's all for now. Subscribe, please. It makes me happier. Thanks for watching. Peace.